This is a place where silence screams, where the secrets of nameless graves surround you. Do you dare to step into this mansion?
My name is Faisal. I'm a property dealer. I got a strange deal to sell an old, abandoned mansion on the outskirts of the city. People called it the Mansion of Silence because no sound ever came from it. Rumors said the mansion was haunted by djinns. I didn't believe in such stories, so I accepted the deal. One night, I went to the mansion with the legal papers. As soon as I stepped inside, there was a strange knocking on the door. It sounded as if someone was pounding on it, but when I opened it, no one was there. I went inside and was about to sit down when I found an old book. In this book, a man had written his story. He wrote that a wicked djinn lived in the mansion, seeking its freedom. To trap it, he enlisted the help of a spiritualist, and they buried the djinn in a nameless grave. He also wrote that if anyone were to open that grave, the djinn would imprison them. As I read the book, I felt someone breathing on my back. I nervously looked behind me, but no one was there. Suddenly, the pages of the book began to turn on their own, and a blood-red light emerged from it. In that light, I saw the face of the old spiritualist, and he said to me, "You must leave this place, or you too will become a prisoner of that grave." But I ignored his warning and continued to explore the mansion. In the back, I found a nameless grave. It was completely bare, with no name on it. As I got closer to the grave, I noticed something else strange. On the ground were the spiritualist's old clothes, and they were completely soaked in blood. He had managed to imprison the djinn, but the djinn had killed him. When I saw the clothes, I started to feel truly afraid. Suddenly, I heard that same voice in my ear again, but this time it was the djinn's voice. It said to me, "You have come and broken my prison. Now you cannot leave this place." I looked at the grave in a panic, and the soil on it began to move. A lifeless hand emerged from it and asked me for my name. I was too scared to tell it, so the djinn took me into its prison. When I opened my eyes, I found myself inside the grave. The grave was completely silent, and only my shadow was there. I looked, and the djinn was in front of me. It asked me for my name, and in my fear, I told it. When I uttered my name, the djinn's grip on me seemed to loosen. A cold, spectral wind swept through the grave, and I felt myself being propelled upwards, out of the earth. I scrambled out, gasping for breath, and ran without looking back, the mansion's dark silhouette shrinking behind me with every pounding step. I didn't stop until the city lights were a comforting shimmer in the distance. But as I reached the first familiar street, a horrifying sensation washed over me. It wasn't pain, but a profound emptiness. I felt my soul, my very essence, being drawn out of my body, like air escaping a punctured balloon. My limbs grew heavy, my vision blurred, and the comforting city lights began to twist into grotesque shapes. Then, I collapsed. When my eyes fluttered open again, I wasn't on the city street. I was back in the mansion. Not just in the mansion, but of the mansion. My vision was no longer my own. I saw through cracks in the old plaster, through the dusty panes of the tall windows. My hearing was distorted, picking up the groan of old wood, the whisper of decaying fabrics, and the silence. It was no longer just the absence of sound. It was a living, breathing entity, pressing in on me from every corner. Then, I heard it. A voice, not in my ears, but resonating from the very foundation of the house. A voice that was both ancient and chillingly familiar. It was the djinn. "You speak my name, Faisal," the djinn's voice echoed, not from outside, but from within my very being. "But you misunderstand. I did not leave your body. I simply transcended it. And you transcended as well." A horrifying realization dawned on me. The djinn hadn't escaped the grave to possess me and then leave me. It had used my name to complete its ancient ritual, to become the essence of the mansion itself. And I, Faisal, was now merely a part of it. My consciousness was spread throughout the creaking floors, the peeling wallpaper, the dust motes dancing in the faint light. My fears, my memories, my very identity were becoming indistinguishable from the silent, decaying walls. The Djinn's voice, now a booming, omnipresent rumble within the mansion's core, continued. I was trapped in the earth. Now, I am the earth that surrounds. I am the silence that devours. Your soul, Faisal, is merely the newest brick in my prison. Your terror is the mortar that binds it. I tried to scream, to break free, but all that came out was the faint groan of old timber. I tried to move, but only dust stirred. I was aware, painfully aware, of every moment, every creak, every passing shadow. I was the mansion's silence, its watchful, agonizing consciousness. And then, I heard a car approaching. Headlights cut through the night, pulling up to the main gate. A new face, eager and naive, stepped out, holding a set of property papers. He was looking for a good deal on a quiet old house. Knock, knock, knock. The sound echoed through my very being, a sound I knew all too well. And from deep within my core, a silent, agonizing cry attempted to escape, a warning swallowed by the all-encompassing silence. I, Faisal, was now the final guardian of the Mansion of Silence and the Nameless Grave, an eternal, tormented part of the very horror I had sought to sell, and the silence waited for its next echo.